We really like the Arc blockchain and the Arc cryptocurrency. What we're going to be doing with our crypto is when people buy and then they stake it on the delegate that we have on that blockchain, they will receive their rewards in Arktide, which can then be used to give discounts to purchase a Seastead, one of our models. There will be other benefits, but the main difference is you don't have to actually spend the money. You just have to stake the crypto, and you get to keep the crypto, and you also get to get these coins in return as kind of staking rewards, which is not investing in the company. It's more like kind of access tokens for the structures themselves. It's not so much like the Arktide token. It's like a token for the actual physical structure.
This is basically like crowdfunding. It's really just like putting your money in a bank account, and instead of getting dollars in interest back, you would get Arktide, kind of like credit card points. And so those will be more valuable for buying the Seastead, renting the Seastead, or participating in our events than if they just got the dollars back and then spent them. You could think of it even as simply as if you go to the store, sometimes you can get a deal on a gift card. Like I can go to Costco and get a discount on several different restaurants and things like that, where if I pay $100 for this thing, I get a gift card that's worth $110, something like that. So I get more, but I can use it for that specific place. That's probably the simplest comparison. So a lot of people have heard of NFTs. So it is really just anything that is, let's say, serialized. So a car, a house, there's only one of that particular thing. You can't just swap your house for your neighbor's, whereas like, a quarter, you could swap with your neighbor's quarter and it's still worth 25 cents. So that's been done for digital art and some gaming things and things like that are digital. But I think the real power of them is in that anything that you could title normally, like a house, a car, that title can rest in an NFT. It's the same thing. It's just an individual, serialized, they're one of a kind. This only applies to this thing. Coming from real estate investment, the cost to buy or sell a house requires lots of people to check titles and insure titles and record titles. But with blockchain, you could instantly see, if I want to buy your Seastead, I can just look on the NFT for that and see what the history is of who's bought and sold it, how much they bought and sold it for, and if there's any kind of like mortgage against it, because once you get a mortgage, then it will be digitally tied to that NFT until you pay it off. And so you can easily go back and see it, maybe do that so simply that there wouldn't even be a need for a lawyer to look through it. So it's really cutting out this huge amount of middlemen that we need right now in a lot of countries because it's so inefficient. If you think about it as far as an NFT goes, it's this exact Seastead with this exact serial number, let's say. You can also have a fraction of that NFT where you can split out and say it's this exact serialized Seastead for this exact night, this exact 24-hour period. So each of those can be its own token. And if I live there, obviously, I'm just not going to sell those tokens because I'm going to be there every night. But it can be as simple as, hey, I'm going to go on vacation for a week and I'm going to offer these 7 tokens for sale, which would, the owner of the token has the right to stay there for the night or for the week if they buy all 7, or I can buy it as part of a hotel or a full-time Airbnb. And then I have 365 tokens per year and people can come in and buy those. And like what Airbnb will do is they're going to charge you money to collect the money, the initial payment for the rental, and then they're going to charge you to distribute that to a property manager and to distribute it to you and to the cleaners and to the different people that do these things. We can automate all of that, again, in a way that's decentralized, which is a great component, but also in cutting out a lot of the fees from middlemen. For hotels, it's great because a lot of times you can have like classes of rooms. It doesn't necessarily have to be for a specific room. You just have like the bigger room or the smaller room or whatever. So then you can really sell them on an open market almost, where the prices can fluctuate in real time and people can buy and sell them.
In a hypothetical situation, you might go onto a website, let's say Airbnb, you would look at pictures of it, you would say, this looks like a really nice place to stay, I like the coral reef on the bottom, I like all the fish swimming around, it's really cool. Basically, the owner of that property could kind of rent out nights at that property. They could say, on Wednesday the 22nd, or the 23rd, this person's going to come over, and then a smart contract would be kind of set up, and as soon as I pay that money into that smart contract, it's just going to register that night is reserved for me, and then anyone who looks on that website, as long as it's reading that information with the blockchain, would see, oh, this guy booked that night, he's going to be staying there, and that money would be automatically distributed to both the owner, and if there's a property manager, they would also get a cut, and all of those proportions preset by that smart contract on the Ark blockchain.
In comparison to Bitcoin, for example, where you have people all over the world that are mining, and it requires an enormous amount of electricity to run this hardware to mine Bitcoin. In this case, for Ark, there's 51 servers that run. For Solar, there's 53. And those do not need to be extremely high-end, power-hogging kind of machines. They're really pretty basic. So the amount of electricity required to verify transactions on this network is millions of times less, I would assume, than what Bitcoin is probably running right now. And a lot of cryptocurrencies are moving to this, like Ethereum and stuff, because it was, blockchain 10 years ago was fine. It wasn't that much kind of environmental concern, electricity usage concern, but nowadays it's kind of a big problem. So these are extremely efficient and go along with our environmental focus.